Today I fucked up by riding horses, having long hair and labia. I am spooked and mortified right now. So I'm a female with rather long hair who rides horses, I have 3, compete regularly etc. Anyway, yesterday I was happily riding my first of 2 horses for the day, when about halfway through I thought I had a front wedgie. No big deal, pull/shuffle it out and move on, yeah. A little while later I felt it again and pulled it out again. I finished my ride, tacked up the second horse, then rode him. Again I kept feeling this discomfort wedgie, they weren't even the right pants to give me a wedgie. Anyway I shook it off as no biggie, finished the horses for the night, went home, showered, then went out to see some friends. This morning, I awoke at around 6:30 am with intense labial pain. Yep. So I grab a mirror and have a look and oh geez it's a horror. There is a dark red lump. A big one. Perhaps fingernail sized. At first I thought my clit was inflamed. Nope, not that. STD. Googled them all. Nope. A moment later I realize there is a hair hanging off it. Yep. I think I have given myself a labial hair tourniquet. With my hair length I often end up with hair on my clothing edit. My hair is always tied back when I ride, the hair must have slithered into my pants beforehand so I'm thinking the friction from riding caused the hair to get looped around. Apparently showering means the hair gets looser and when it dries it tightens. So I'm on my way to A&E as I can't remove it myself. There is definitely a hair dangling down. Maybe around 4 inches. I didn't notice anything last night. My hair is between waist and butt length. I can't wait to have some doctors look at my poorly labia. Edit, just confirming it's hair from my head that is looped around. Update 1. Doctor number 1 has looked at my foofy and referred me to a gynecologist on a ward. She agrees it's a hair tourniquet. They need specialist equipment and numbing things. It's rather swollen. F my luck. Update 2. The nurses at gynecology managed to untie and cut the hair after some fiddling about. They'd never had a case like it before. So it's pretty rare my fellow gals. Still be careful and vaginalent. They said I definitely did the best thing going to them rather than trying to do it myself. I'm blonde as well so it was almost invisible. Plus the swelling made it difficult to see. Also I must have caught it quick. None of the tissue has died or anything but I need to keep an eye on it. Feeling a bit bruised. Update 3. Thank you for gold OMG, at least I got something good out of this hahaha, trying to respond to comments but sorry if I lose track 3. Update 4. Clarifying location for some confused Redditors. It was to the right then lower of the urethra and the ball was almost spherical and the size of a fingernail. It was a human head hair, and though it first became caught while riding the real FU when I showered and didn't notice the hair that must have been caught, then it became further tangled through the night and evening. I finished riding at around 7:30 p.m. Update 5. We have made the front page. Brilliant. Smiley face. Update 6. Removed. There are pictures similar to my case but there are concerns about the medical file due to the potential age of the case study. Update 7. I've got to get on with my life for a few hours, but I'll make a point of responding to comments directed at me this evening. Lots of love fellows. Too long didn't read. Horse riding friction caused, what I think is, labial hair tourniquet and now doctors can look at my labia. Alright you horn dogs, stop asking for pics of her labia. I know it's very funny that you are a medical student and you need to see for research, but come on, I've removed about 30 of those comments. Asking for pics is a violation of our rules, so let's just not ask anymore. Labial hair tourniquet. Sounds like a death metal song title. Seriously, hope everything improves from here. Good luck. My sister had something like that happen, but it was her eye. She kept feeling like she had something in her eye for months. Then it changed to pain. I can't remember if she went to a regular doctor or a specialist. Whichever it was, they were looking at her eye while having her look in different directions. Then the doctor saw the end of a strand of hair. He was able to grab it and gently started to pull. The hair had wrapped around her eyeball multiple times. After he pulled a few inches out, the nurse had to leave the room. It grossed her out so much she felt sick. The hair was over 8 inches long. What, oh my no? No. Reminds me of that no sleep story where they pop their eyes out because of OCD. You have my genuine, if humor-laced, sympathy. My first wife had something similar, in that she had to have medical professionals look at her bits. But the execution was quite different. Yikes. My vagina hurts now. And I don't even have a vagina. It's really painfully sore and then it goes not sore again. Sorry for your ghost vagina. Today I fucked up by orgasming so hard I broke my vagina. Today I fucked up by orgasming so hard I broke my vagina. Happened a couple of days ago, as is tradition. Throwaway because some IRL folks know my normal handle on here. So a couple of months ago my doctor put me on a new SSRI to help with my chronic depression. It didn't work that well and made me super dazed, and on top of that my sex drive dried up to a level that can only be described as Sahara-like. Now, it's not like I'm in a relationship or anything, but I still enjoyed getting off at least a couple times a week, and found myself very wound up without my normal release. I told my doctor that the medication just kind of put me in a fog, so she switched me to an SNRI, and holy horniness, my sex drive came back with a vengeance. After work one day, I came home and decided to treat myself to a round or two with my vibrator, to celebrate. Well, it had been building up so long in me that I went to town and had one of the most intense orgasms of my life. I should note at this point that I didn't use lube, because I was so worked up. I figured I didn't need it. Sounds great, right? Not so much, because right after finishing the deed, I realized I had a shooting pain in my vagina, like I had badly pulled a muscle. After spending a couple of minutes laying in state, praying to every god and deity out there to make the pain subside, I made the long, labored waddle to the toilet, only to realize I was dripping a lot of blood, too. Before you ask, no, it was not Shark Week for me, so needless to say, I was surprised. Upon further inspection, I realized that I not only pulled a muscle deep in my lady parts that had me walking funny for a day, I suffered a vaginal tear due to my vigor as well. However, it was a lot more blood than any little tears I had had in the past, and prior to this, I never tore from masturbating, so I was convinced I really badly injured myself, and may need stitches. I called my OBS office and made an appointment, and I explained what happened, all while turning shade of purple that Barney the dinosaur would envy. My doctor took a look and velp, I was right, I needed stitches, and instructed me that in the future during any particularly intense sessions, I should probably use lube, just to be safe. Ironically, I now have to once again abstain from all sexual activity for a period of time, so I'm back to square one. Needless to say, the whole experience was not what I was expecting, and has been something I would prefer to not experience, ever again. Too long didn't read, got super horny, overdid it during a solo session, and broke my vagina. Edit, thanks for all the lube tips, guys. Just ordered, look up the drum of lube on Amazon, was apparently inadvertently linking to my wishlist, too, so I think I'm good to go for future sexy times. Not really, but I did order a few different brands, suggested and really appreciate it. Edit 2, been getting a lot of questions about my antidepressants. I was on Celexa and am not on Cymbalta. Feel free to PM me if you have any further questions, happy to have helped some folks out, smiley face. Sorry if it takes me a while to respond, been getting a ton of questions and I want to make sure I answer them all, thoroughly. Edit 3, gold. Holy crap, thank you, internet stranger. Who knew my most read post would ever be about injuring my vajay? I'll take this opportunity to throw out LPT, lube, and lube some more. Also, know if you pull a muscle while orgasming, the pain is intense but it should only last a day or so. When you think you've got enough lube, double it. Someone should embroider this on a throw pillow. If you don't mind me asking, what medication did you start on and which did you switch to? Removed? This scares me. What if this goes for guys too and my dick explodes? Edit, TIFU Gold. Guy here, we can damage our sex organs with overly vigorous stimulation and lack of lubricant. I've only experienced friction burns which did not require medical assistance. It's certainly possible that more traumatic damage could be caused. Till that one can break their vagina. Today I fucked up by hilariously ruining sex with my girlfriend. For background, I'm 30s/M, in a 7+ year relationship with my GF, 30s/F. We've been having a bit of a dry spell lately, so the GF decided to spice things up by buying a remote control vibrator. When I came home from work yesterday, she surprised me at the door by handing me the remote control and telling me she had it inserted, and to play around with it however I wanted. We then had a lovely dinner of different fancy cheeses and meats with bread. While we ate, I would occasionally reach under the table and push the button to change settings. By the end of dinner we were both quite aroused, and she hopped on my lap and started grinding against me, ready to move things to the bedroom. And this is where things began to go wrong. I work a high-pressure job with long hours and hadn't had time to eat anything at work all day that day. I had eaten voraciously during dinner, and probably ate a good ½ pound of various cheeses. I started to feel a little nauseous while she was grinding up on me, and said I might need a moment to digest. She wasn't having any of it, and insisted we head to the bedroom. So I figured fuck it, we'll just do it live. In the bedroom she lays down and asked me to hop on top. Meanwhile, the vibrating insertable is going full tilt. The noise it was making was an alternating wah-ee pause. Wah-ee pause. Wah-ee pause. But this thing is like 90% buried inside her, so the sound is coming out a little muffled and distorted. And I swear all I could think of at that moment was how it sounded exactly, spot on, like the robot from the movie WALL-E screaming for help, terrified, buried alive. I burst out laughing as she looks at me in bewilderment. This kills the mood and causes the nausea I was feeling moments before to hit a crescendo. After I explain both what I was laughing about and why I suddenly looked so sick, she starts laughing, which makes it even harder for me to stop laughing, nausea getting worse every second. Finally, we both calm down. She steps out to give me a moment to get over the sick stomach feeling and for her to remove the toy. A few minutes pass, then she comes back in. I'm on my back still feeling profoundly queasy, but tell her I'm ready to go. She hops on top, starts making out with me, then starts going at it in cowgirl. As the thrusting gets more and more intense, she was getting really close to orgasm, as I was getting closer and closer to throwing up. Finally, as she was just about ready, she brought her face close to mine during one particularly violent thrust, causing one of the foulest burps I've ever had to escape. I taste cheese mixed with shame as she throws herself off of me, yelling, gagging, and laughing hysterically at me. I feel terrible but can't help but laugh, which only makes the nausea worse. At that moment I was about as close to throwing up as you can get without actually doing it. She leaves the room still laughing but utterly disappointed. I just lay there aroused, sick to my stomach, and frustrated at myself eating like a goldfish during dinner. There were no further attempts at sex that night. Too long didn't read, WALL-E combined with too much cheese ruined sexy times. Bro, how are you not at the toilet while feeling as close to throwing up without throwing up? Priorities? Got to say bravo, that is hilarious. Also GF is a true diamond for seeing the funny side. She tolerates me. Smile? She's a keeper. Now pay her back by putting WALL-E up your bum and giving her the remote. Lamau? Man, the life of a sentient vibrator must be a rough one. Tell her that you should watch a movie together to relax and calm down. Put on WALL-E. Try not to mix up the remotes. Upvote for fuck it, we'll just do it live. You rang.